Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and most importantly, welcome to the Craftstash Autumn YouTube Hop. Now there are quite a few of us taking part today. There are 9 of the Craftstash team taking part in this hop, and I've linked all the names of the people who are participating and all their links to their channels in the description box below. Don't forget, you'll get 20% off anything that you purchase that is featured in the hop today, and if you're a VIP member you'll also be able to enjoy your extra 10% off too. Now if you can please like, comment and subscribe to our channels excuse me, that would be brilliant. And if you head over to the Craftstash YouTube channel and you subscribe there, you're in with a chance of winning a prize. So that's not to be missed, is it? Anyway, let's get on with the video. And today I'm doing Card Making Magic's Slimline Box and Card Maker. I'm also going to be using another set of Christina Griffiths, and this is the Octagon box kit, but I'm only going to be using a few elements, the flowers, leaves and the warm wishes sentiment from that one. And then we also have the spiral rose maker, so I'll be using a couple of those as well. And we're going to make a lovely autumn coloured box. So I'm really pleased with the colours in this one, and I hope you like them too. So I'll show you what I'm using. From the main die set, you have your box or envelope making die, and I've cut 2 from craft cardstock. I will cut off, because it's a box not an envelope, I will cut off this piece here just to explain that to you. I'll also pop a card inside as well. We'll do a card, and that's your slimline card maker. Then we have an edging die which is really pretty, and we're going to be cutting that and doing some edges for the sides of the card. And then we have a mat and a leaf background die. There's also another a scalloped mat in the set, and there are a few other bits as well, but I haven't used those. And then on the card we'll use this gorgeous lacy leafy edge die. So we'll go on to that later, but let's start with the card. So here are the leaves and the flowers I'll be using, and I'll explain those as we're going along. Now first of all, as I said, we'll cut off this part of the flap. We don't need that. And before I assemble this lid for the card, I want to do some work on it. So I've actually put some red liner tape here ready to assemble, and I'll use glue as well. Now I've cut the leafy background die from a nice bright orangey colour and a slightly deeper russet colour with the mat for underneath. And you can trim this if you need to at all, depending on what you're doing with it, but it does come out to fit that lid. So underneath there I've just cut on the trimmer a larger piece because I wanted to just give it a lift. I wasn't going to, but I thought I've tried that yellowy colour, it's a goldy yellow and I really like that, so that's going there. And then what I've done here, I've used the rust colour to cut out the trim. Now it cuts one edge, and what I do, I start with a large piece of paper and I cut that edge and I measure how deep it wants to be, and then I cut it off, and then I do the same again, making sure that each measurement there is the same. And then that's laid onto, I've just cut a piece of the orange underneath to give it a bit of a lift. You don't have to, and if you wanted to, I have made these boxes with this on the edge and it's given a lovely lacy trim. So we've got 2 long ones here, and then if you cut one more it'll do both ends. And what I've done, again, I decided to give it a bit of lift in colour and I've cut another piece as a mat for there. So we'll stick all these together first before we assemble the card. So we'll put this one down first. And this one needs to go on the mat. And we'll do that centrally. There we go. Pop that one down. You can use tape for this if you don't want to use wet glue, or you can use both. And then we'll pop our mats down. This one we'll glue the edges. We're going to have lots on top of this that will hold it down, so there's no need to glue every little bit of the back, just some bits here and there. There we go. And then we'll glue this to the top. And it will be nice and bright when it's finished. And lots of other bits to go on. And it's much easier to do this when it's flat rather than assemble the box and struggle with it when it's assembled. So there we are, and that's the lid just ready to be assembled. So there are actually limited stocks of the products that are featured in this video, so if you see anything you like, please, don't miss out on it, because there are some good offers on today. Now then, the flowers I've cut out already. Some of these flowers here. I've made some of the spiral roses, but I will show you how I made it. I've cut out, these ones are from the octagon box, and so are the ivy type leaves, and this warm wishes as well. And these three flowers and these leaves are from the Slimline box set. So you can see the difference in the colours, and I'll show you how I got the markings on this one. And then this is the little, they look like poinsettias, don't they? And some of the little leaves there. So the way I got the markings on the leaves, I thought at first that this was a lacy dye, but it's not. It's one that you can ink through. So I've got some bundled sage here because it goes quite well with the colour of leaf the paper I'm using for the leaf, and just ink through. You don't have to, but it does just give it that little bit extra. As you can see, you can now see the veining in the leaves. And also to show you how I assemble the flowers. They're both the same really, just different shaped flowers. I've got somewhere a mat. There it is. And I just got a ball tool on a foam mat and just slightly rounded the petals. And then glue them together. You can do 2 or 3 layers. The larger one is 3 layers. And just cross over the petals, and then a little bit of glue in the middle, and then drop on. I've got seed beads with the red. There we go, that's just moved slightly. So we'll leave that to dry for later, and those beads will just stick to that glue. So there we are, and that's one of the yellow ones that I did, and I put micro beads in that one. I'm just going to swap that one, it's quite a long one, and put a couple more of the small circular ones on. There we go, and we'll leave that to dry, and that will do for the card. So now what we need to do is to arrange our flowers. I will do the spiral one in a moment as well. So these are the spiral rose dies made up, and we're going to put some leaves down. We've got some long leaves too. So you just do an arrangement that suits yourself, your style. And I'm going to add some of these nice red ones with the leaves tucked behind, and add some of these little yellow ones, which it's a very pale yellowy colour. It is really nice. And poke in your ivy, and some more of the paler leaves, and then I will add some little pine cones and some red berries. You can pick these up in garden centres and lots of different types of shops. You can get these little things. And I've also made some little that one's tied together now, I'll use this one instead. Some little springy bits to add in as well, and they just add a little bit of interest. So there's a tiny one, and all you do to make these is get some wire, a very soft pliable wire, and get a pencil or something like that, and to the width that you want it, and just keep winding it round. However long you want that, and then just slide it off, and there you have it. And you can cut that off and use that for various things. So I'm going to play around with this and I'll glue that all on top, and we'll come back to it when I've done that bit. So there we have the lid now. Everything's glued on apart from this bit I'm going to explain, and that gives a nice little arrangement there, and it's quite full, and I've stuck those on with the glue gun. Excuse me. Now then, I've cut out the Warm Wishes. I've cut that out twice in the rust colour and mounted it, layered them up and mounted it onto the background, and I'm just going to pop that down. I've put some sticky pads on the back of that, so we'll pop that down, and that can fit just about there. Lovely. Okay, and now we'll assemble the lid. So first of all, I'm going to do one side at each end, and I've taken my tab off my red liner and I'm going to put some glue on this as well for extra strength, and take that over. Don't take it over the edge. I'll explain in a minute what I mean by that. We don't want this to be quite as tight as the base. We want it to be a nice fit on the base, but we don't want it to be too tight. So there we go. Now here's the base. It goes together exactly the same. On the base, always make sure that your ends are right up to the end. You'll get a nice fit then with the lid. So that'll just take a minute to take. And then what I normally do is I slide my box lid on, and then I test how far I need to go over, because you do need a little more ease with the lid. So I can see that I don't need to go right to the very end, or the box lid will be too tight. So again, this is where your glue helps. And I'll just pull that over a little bit there, pop that through, and we'll try it on again. Yeah, that gives me a nice fit there, so I'll press that down. You just need that little bit extra ease on the lid. And then we'll do the same with the other end. So try it first. And I can see I need to come out a little bit there. And we'll pop that together there. Try it again. There we go. And there we have it. And that's a nice snug fit, but it doesn't make the box curl, the box base curl when you're trying to put the lid on. Excuse me. I always seem to have a frog when I'm doing these videos. I'll have to try doing them in the afternoon. Now then, so that's that, and I'll show you how I made the spiral rose, and then we'll show you the box, the card to go inside. So with this one, I tend to just loosen it up a bit on a foam mat, give it a slight bit of curl, and then you can take a pencil or tweezers and you can you can curl it in or out, whichever way you like, and then I curl it a little at first and then I glue that little bit down just to make the centre of the rose. And you would do this if you wanted a tight rose. If you don't, you can just let it fall loose. Roll it a bit more, a little bit more glue, and then just keep rolling. Now that gives you a tight rose, and this little bit at the bottom is the base that you're going to stick it onto, there, like that. That gives you a tight rose, or you can let it go and you can let it settle to whatever size you want. And then I usually put a lot of glue. You could use a glue gun also, which would be very helpful. And then you press that down onto the base. A glue gun will stick it immediately. You do have to hold this for a second or two. And that's it. And you can always ruffle up the leaf edges as well, the leaf edges. Right, so for the card, I cut the base out with the die. I cut a mat on a trimmer, and I cut the die out twice, and then on the edge of the top piece, which is the orange, I placed this die onto the edge like so. So it was just missing the stitched part, and I ran that piece through the die cutting machine, and it gives you that gorgeous edge. And then I layered it on top of this and glued it down. So we're going to glue this one on here now. I had a little bit missing from this piece of card, but it didn't matter because it wasn't going to be seen. And we'll glue that on there. And then you could put a little stone in each one of those. That would be really nice, or a pearl. So I'll probably get around to doing that later. There we go, and then we'll add some nice leaves to it and some flowers. So we'll go that way and we'll come down the other way. Now I don't know whether you're actually subscribed to the newsletter, the Craftstash newsletter, but you do get daily deals on there. You get new launches, big sales and offers, so it's well worth signing up to that. I usually get an email, it's about 7:30 every morning, and I get to know all the bargains of the day, etc. Well worth doing, because I've got some real bargains by doing that. So it's a good thing to sign up to. It's free, it's it's just a subscription to the newsletter. And if you're not a VIP, then if you join that, it's £9.99 a year. You get exclusive deals on there as well, early access to new launches, double reward points. You'll get your 10% off sale prices as well as future orders, and you get priority dispatch, so it does pay for itself very quickly. So just to let you know about that too, just in case you weren't aware. And let's glue these down. So I've not gone too mad on the card because we've gone a bit berserk on the box. So we'll have a calmer card. I haven't put a sentiment on yet because I don't know who it's going to or what the occasion will be. So I tend to, very often, if I've nothing in mind or nobody in mind and I just want to make something, I'll just leave it until I get the occasion. The occasion arises, and then then I'll make the sentiments fit then, if the card fits the occasion, that is. It's just nice to have a day playing, isn't it, sometimes, and make a few things. Even though you've no reason to. They'll always come in handy. Righty ho, and we'll have a couple of berries, I think, on this. I might just cut those end bits off, and I'll pop those. I can't do it now, I don't think this glue will stick it down. I'll try. I'll have to get the glue gun going again. So we'll add a few more, and that's your matching card. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed designing and making this for you. It's been a pleasure. The colours, I love autumn colours. It's just a lovely time of year, like spring. So there you have your card and box. Lovely gift for somebody. That would do as a gift box. It would be really nice as a gift box, just on its own, and a card and an envelope. But you know, it's just really nice. You'd put some nice little gifts in there. So don't forget to subscribe and like and share and comment on our videos, because we do really appreciate it. And don't forget, Craftstash have a best price guarantee as well. So they've got 5-star reviews for products and for customers and customer services. The customer service team is great. They're really helpful if you ever have a problem, and you get worldwide shipping as well. So thank you very much for joining me, and as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments, and I'd love to see if you make something like this and you post it. That would be great. So thank you very much. Bye for now.